Well, we're about to answer a question. Can the center of capitalism and be controlled by a bunch of commies? Can the commies destroy New York and turn it into a wasteland? So far, they're doing a great job. They're not putting on the brakes. They're going all out. Now, what we got a socialist mayor, a socialist, a democratic socialist. That's a country in terms to believe in, the no individual ownership of private property. It's going to be owned by the people. Yeah, we know how that always works out in all those commie countries. Well, the between the mask face in Albany and who's a socialist. Yeah, she's a socialist. She wants to tax the rich and tax the working class and the middle class. And her rich friends who are in her party will not be taxed. It's all one world government situation here we're going here. They are putting the squeeze on New York. The commies from the bottom, socialists from the top. What we need is that broad we have in Albany to get out of office. She's not supposed to be there in the first place. Time to put the brakes on this whole situation. They're not putting brakes on bikes. The bikes are running down people. Delivery boys are running down people. Of course, the mayor doesn't want to prosecute. He doesn't prosecute for murder, let alone running down somebody with a bike. And this is it's what you call a fight against the elderly, because those are the ones that get run down by these guys on the bike. Then we don't have the reflexes no more to jump out of the way. So the guy on the bike runs you down, and they're all illegal. So most of them are illegals, you know. And they're supposed to get in a certain amount of time, and it's incredible. Zori Mondori, the commie Marxist. He went in front of one of the big buildings, right? And he's challenged this rich guy who's investing billions of dollars in New York that he couldn't have a second home without him being taxed out of existence. And the rich guy said, I just move out of here and I won't invest no money here. Well, Zondori doesn't realize that he's costing New York a whole bunch of rich money. Zori the zero. That's what I say. Talking about zeros. I know I'm half Catholic, so and half Protestant, so I'm protesting the Pope at the same time, you know, thinking he's the vicar of God. But he's not the vicar of God. He's from Chicago, which means he's a liberal. That cancels out all the holiness in him. If God's not talking to him, this is getting a direct correlation and this little transfer to there. I don't believe so. And he's saying that we should not go to war with Iran, that we're starting a war. Well, we're supposed to wait until they get the atomic bomb and blow up half of the Middle East. Mr. Trump is saving lives by going in there now. He's taking a very brave stand. And if the new American people collectively can't deal with that, I don't know. Then we don't deserve our special place in history. But I think we're going to do it under the great leadership of Mr. Trump. We're going to win this short war. The Pope, he didn't talk about the 40, 50,000 people of Iran who've been massacred by their government. You know, it's a terrible thing. They've been massacred by the government. The government's massacring them, getting away with it. And it's a process of the women. All the feminists here don't want to talk about it, about the oppression of women in Iran. It's an afterthought because they want to take over and make a totalitarian dictatorship of the feminists here in New York of the woke. I tell you, we should put you to sleep, you woke. We should, the awakened. We should call ourselves the awakened because we're awakened to your problem, what you're up to. It's unbelievable. The hammer and sickle and the feminist right fist still resound. It's a terrible thing. They're criminals. They're criminals. The hammer and sickle is responsible for more individual lives being destroyed and ruined, and countries being ruined than the twisted cross. Twisted cross existed for 12 years and then was out of business. Hammer and sickle has existed for about 100 years and has cost billions of people's lives, and in both in lives and ruined lives. So rap rips. Oh, Raul Rubio. I love J.P. Vance, but Rubio seems to be his equal, or maybe surpass him. He's a very professional guy. He's a Cuban. He's a good Cuban, and he's non-threatening because he's for America and he's for anti-communist. It's under his jurisdiction that we're going to overthrow the Cuban government. Yeah, well, collapse of its own way. Good luck, drug. Ah, good luck. They got a drug that'll make your Viagra look like nothing. And also, these young kids, or these young men, they're putting bone things and stuff, and they get in as vain as women. Oh my God, and that's that vein. Oh, yeah, yeah. Anti-Jew mob at temple. Look at this. Anti-Semitism around the world, and nobody's noticing. It's crystal knock everywhere. Everywhere where you have commies and Palestinians and Arab Muslims. I'm not saying all Muslims, I'm saying the bad ones, and that's the one you worry about. There are some fifth column. If you don't like America, if you say death to America, automatically you get kicked out. Automatic. You can. Freedom of speech is one thing, but tyranny is another thing under liberal dictatorships. They've given everybody rights. They don't believe in property rights. Squatters' fights. They can squat in your apartment. You could be a lunatic, squat in somebody's apartment. They can you can't get a gun and shoot the guy. Not in New York State. In Texas, yeah. Oh, Rudy's in a bad trap right now. Rudy Giuliani, one of the greatest mayors we ever had in our lifetime. There's nobody equivalent. He was better than LaGuardia. He destroyed the mafia. He cleaned up the streets. Everything was beautiful in the city. What a man! What a man! Epstein. Oh, we found. What did we find here? Oh, this guy, this lawyer. He says that Dershowitz, he defended the pedophile. Well, he's not a pedophile. He was a evil man. Dersh, he says, the pedophiles go under 10 years old and, pubescent. He was going for 16-year-olds. He was just a dirty old man who wanted to seduce these women. You know, I'm beginning to suspect that Dershowitz was part of the problem. Menopause execs. Look at this. Yeah, you don't want a female president because they're gonna go with the time that they're gonna go for the mayorship or the executive thing of being president. They might be going through a change of life, and that makes them crazy. You don't want a crazy president unless he's crazy in a consistent way, like my little Trumpy. Telling you this it's true. It's true. It's true. The right wing has to win. The fate of the universe and the universe, all of the universes between our two E's. You're in the blue state rush. Everybody's rushing out of the blue states into the red states. That's because lack of no tax, and also because the crime rate's down. Right now, it's illegal to kill people in the blue states. In the red states, you try to kill people, you might go bang, bang, bang. A lot of the laws now are in that way. Trust. Just the opposite. What it should be. And the battle is on. The battle is on. Okay, we're going to close down the shop. Oh, I gotta get my teeth fixed. Getting old, but not in the heart, not in the soul.